Are you a current or future physician assistant wanting to learn more about finances? Then join me on this journey to become a PA the FI way. Hi, my name is Kat, and I'm a practicing certified physician assistant who will be your host. It took me 5 years after I started practicing medicine as a PA to thoroughly dive into my personal finances after I discovered the concept of financial independence. I want to use what I have learned to help you avoid some of the financial mistakes that I have made while sharing some of the financial wins that I have had along the way. Join me as we discuss financial strategies to guide you to becoming a physician assistant on the way to financial independence. Hey there, and welcome back to the PA the FI Way podcast. I'm your host, Kat, and thanks for joining me for the show today. I hope you all have had a wonderful Christmas season, as well as any other holidays that you celebrate this time of year, and are looking forward to the new year starting up here soon. My husband, Brian, and I were able to spend Christmas Eve with his family and then Christmas Day with my family, and it's always so relaxing and special to be able to spend that quality time with our family members. And if you are a longtime listener to the podcast, you likely know that ice fishing is one of our favorite hobbies to do together, which we often do with our family. And when this episode goes live, we will be way up in northern Minnesota ice fishing for the first time this season, and we are really looking forward to that. The past several years, we've made it a bit of a tradition to fish over New Year's Eve with my sister and brother-in-law. So wish us luck, and I hope that you are able to enjoy some of the hobbies that are your favorite as well. So with the new year coming up, a lot of people like to think about and develop their New Year's resolutions. But I think that it's also really important that you take the time to reflect about the different milestones that you have hit or the little wins that you've had over the course of the past year as well. So for this episode today, it's one of my favorite types of episodes to do because I like to curate this episode by asking the podcast listeners like you to share your story and your wins or milestones that you have reached throughout the year too. And when I asked people to reach out to me to share their story, I emphasized that nothing is too small to celebrate in this community of PAs and other healthcare professionals trying to reach financial independence together. So let's jump in and celebrate with these PAs for the wins that they have accomplished. The first win that I want to celebrate is from a previous guest of the podcast. And this is from Megan, who goes by the Expat PA on Instagram. And she was interviewed back on episode 65. And during that episode, we talked about how to practice medicine abroad as a PA because she is currently still over in the UK and Scotland practicing as a PA over there. So it was a really fun and interesting episode. So if you haven't taken a listen, go back and take a listen to episode 65. And in that episode, Megan shared about how she also has a side hustle. She primarily helps future PAs with editing and proofreading their personal statements and supplemental essays. And she has a few other services over at her Fiverr account too, which is linked in the show notes of episode 65. But she reached out to share her money win, where she said for the year of 2022, she invested 80% of the profits that she was able to get from her editing side hustle. So I love that part of Megan's story. She was able to work as a PA, but develop the side hustle that she enjoys doing, where she helps the next generation of PAs, and then is able to use the income to help invest more on her way to financial independence. So that was a really cool win to hear. So let's go into the next one. The next win is the win of a couple, and Wilson is a PA and Stephanie is an NP. You can find Wilson's account over at Wilson_invests on Instagram. And Wilson reached out saying, "My partner and I grew our real estate portfolio from 2 units to 58 units this year. The rental income is enough to have Steph go part-time next year after 3 years of practicing. And 2022 was the year that they became millionaires together." So that's really exciting how they both worked really hard together as new grads to increase their income, get started with investing, get started with real estate investing, and grow their portfolio in a very short time. Speaking of real estate investing, I also want to give a shout out and congratulate my friend Kristen, who is also a PA, and she and her husband got started in real estate investing this year along with her brother-in-law and sister-in-law. She had said that they all were talking about real estate investing for a while and decided to go for it and try it. And when they got their property, they worked really hard to update it to be able to put it on the market for renters as well. So congrats to them. I'm really excited to see the progress and what all develops from their real estate investing journey as well. And then the next celebration is another former guest of the show. Tracy joined me back on episode 86 where we talked about burnout and boundaries. So if you haven't taken a listen to that episode, go ahead and check it out. But Tracy said that she made changes this year to help with burnout as a PA. So she reached out and said, I negotiated to go from 36 hours a week to 24 hours a week and increase my productivity bonus reflective of over a 40% increase in my hourly rate. I will now work 2.5 days per week and most importantly, be there for the bus in the mornings and afternoons for my kids 3 days a week. This change allowed for our family to save $13,000 on daycare costs for before and after care that was busing them to and from school, take advantage of the public school transport that we are paying for with our taxes, and have more relaxed mornings with the kids and be more present for more hours of the day with our little ones. I absolutely love this win because not only was it financial progress in that she was able to negotiate a higher bonus as well as fewer hours per week to help with burnout and help with their finances, but that this change will also help with her and her family overall to be able to spend more time together and have overall a higher quality of life with more relaxed mornings and things like that too. So I think that's such a fun thing to celebrate. So congrats to Tracy and her family. Next, I want to celebrate Nicole's wins that she's had for the year of 2022. And Nicole is another PA and friend that I had as a guest on the show back on episode 88 with her husband, Anthony. And in that episode, we talked about their debt-free journey and they shared their story about how they became debt-free and are working towards financial independence as well. So Nicole said, first, I made it through my third unpaid maternity leave in 3.5 years for the year of 2022. And number two, she said, I was a guest on your podcast, and then I maxed out my 401k. I dropped down to 32 hours per week, which is more manageable for my family, and I remained debt-free and working towards FIRE. So congrats to Nicole for working on all of these different areas on her way to financial independence with her husband. And then the next story that I would like to share to help celebrate other PAs reaching different milestones on their way to financial independence is Kayla. And Kayla is over on Instagram at The Investor PA. And she reached out and said, this year I started my first job as a PA, got my financial stuff together, traveled, built community, got out of my comfort zone a lot, including making this Instagram account, and currently under contract to buy my first property. I loved building my foundations off of resources like this podcast. I think my favorite episode was with Caroline, talking about locums positions. It really got my gears grinding when I had a solid and attainable goal to start working towards. Thank you. So thanks, Kayla, for sharing your awesome story as a newer PA and for those kind words about the podcast as well. And those episodes that she was referring to about the locum tenens positions with Caroline were back on episodes 58 and 59. And then the final financial win to celebrate with a PA is Steph over at prescriptions_and_paychecks reached out and said that she and her spouse, Santi, hit a $1 million net worth this year as well. And Steph and Santi were also guests on the show back on episode 53. So if you want to learn more about their story with Steph working as a derm PA and Santi working as a PharmD and raising their kids and using au pairs for their childcare, go check out that episode as well. It's really good. So the other thing that I wanted to celebrate today is that this is the 100th episode that has aired of the PA the FI Way podcast. And I can't believe that it's been that many so far. It definitely seemed to have gone by really fast, but then also at the same time, sometimes a little slowly when I'm trying to think of different content and different topics to talk about. I have really enjoyed having the guests on the show as well and sharing their stories. So I want to take the time to thank all of them and then thank all of those in the community who shared their stories today to help celebrate their wins for the year of 2022. And I hope that that gives you inspiration and motivation as listeners, and maybe some different ideas of what to work on for the year of 2023. And I also want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to listen today, but also to support the show and its 100th episode. If you would like to support the show further, you can check out details in the show notes. But I wish you all a happy and successful year for the year of 2023. I also want to take a moment to share that with this upcoming year, I am going to be more involved with another project that I'm collaborating with some other PAs and healthcare professionals on too, that we have actually been working on since July of 2022. And with working on that other project a bit more and being more involved with different aspects of that project too, I wanted to share that instead of producing a weekly PA the FI Way podcast, I'm going to be cutting it back to every other week, starting in the new year to see how that goes, to help with time management and trying to help with working on various projects, recording, editing, uploading, typing up the copy for the show notes. All of that takes a lot of time every single week to produce an episode. So I think that for right now at this moment, it's the best thing to help me manage my time a little bit better and help for me to produce quality content without contributing to any burnout in my life overall. So I wanted to encourage all of you to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on the platform that you are listening to this on, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Podcasts. If you subscribe to the show, then you'll be notified of a new episode. And if you haven't done so already, it would mean so much if you were to also leave a written review about what you enjoy about the podcast on that platform as well. I'm so grateful that you take a listen to help with encouragement and understanding on your way to financial independence. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Have a wonderful and safe new year, and I'll see you back here soon. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you decide to continue to join me along this journey of becoming a PA the FI Way. Please take a moment to press the subscribe button on the platform that you are listening to this on, but more importantly, consider sharing with another current or future PA that could benefit from the information that we reviewed in this episode. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Until next time.